Hello and welcome to the first strength workout of the week. Now it is Tuesday. Yesterday I did take a rest day, ended up doing some walking, and to be honest, my legs were killing from the day before. So I don't really take many rest days, but I thought yesterday was a day that I should take one. So today I'm going to be doing some strength. Now, a lot of the training I have been doing focuses on endurance, but with all the science out there, studies, and just by looking at people who tend to do a lot of aerobic training don't tend to have a good muscle mass. And my aim is to try and keep the endurance up, but also retain muscle mass because it helps with me in terms of diabetes, and there are positive benefits of having high muscle mass throughout mortality risk. So I'm going to be doing something a bit different just to keep it interesting. So the strength training today, I'm going to be focusing rep range, probably no more than 5. Try and keep it like that. It's going to be upper body, but I'm going to be doing something that, or exercises that I don't tend to do. So weighted dips, weighted pull-ups, and then do what I normally do in terms of just make it up as I go along, see how the body feels. I mean, I've just done some mobility stretching, a full body one then. My legs are in agony for some reason, and I didn't even lift that much weight the other day. It was mainly reps. So yeah, I'll insert the clips and we'll just make it up as we go along. Hello, so it is Wednesday around 5:30 p.m. I've just done a bit of stretching and today is the first aerobic workout of the week. So normally I would have done a longer ride early on in the week, but like I said, I had a rest day. So today my plan is to do a 5-minute cycle, which I'll talk to you on now. And then after that, I've got a 30-minute zone 2, which I'll then go into VO2 max intervals. Now, I'm just going to tell you why I'm doing all this VO2 max training or the aerobic training, because you'll see different reasons behind why other people are, and this move towards hybrid training in general. But with regards to VO2 max, I'm going to put a graph on the screen, and it's the ability of your body to utilize oxygen, because as you know, in order to do a lot of processes throughout the body, we need enough oxygen. So if we can increase the capacity to do so, then it means that we can maintain functionality for a longer period of time. Now, this graph, basically you can back extrapolate what you need to have at this point in your life to then have a function later on in life. And that's why it's got the best marker to longevity, because below a certain threshold, I think off the top of my head, it's around 10 to 15 on your VO2 max, then your functionality completely moves from being independent to dependent on other people. So if you look at what you need to do at 75, let's say you want to be able to hike or cycle a certain distance, then you can work back on average how many people that have been studies on, what value they had in their 30s, 20s, 40s, for example, and then you can work out what you need to do to improve your fitness over that time. Now, how does that look in training? So from what I've read, 3 hours of aerobic activity are recommended throughout the week to get a decent return. So that's 3 hours zone 2 plus, I think, a VO2 max interval training on that. But what I'm doing is 3 sessions a week, aiming for 30 to 45 for each session. And ideally, I'm doing 2 out of the 3 sessions as a zone 2, and then the third one being a VO2 max. And the whole premise behind it is that your zone 2 is the base of a pyramid. So you want to have as much aerobic capacity as possible. And when you do VO2 max interval training, so that is pushing your anaerobic boundary, you then increase the peak of the pyramid. And the idea is, in order to build a high peak, you need to have a strong base or a wide base. You can't have, I know there's modern buildings, but in general, you can't have a tall building without a wide and strong base. And that's the whole premise of VO2 max training, aerobic capacity. It's something that I've neglected over time, but I'm going to put up my workout, and it's okay, I'm recording. I won't be a minute, but I'm going to be putting up the workout the workout details from this one on the screen, and I'll have to get a move on because someone else wants to use the gym. That's someone being Jess. And then, yeah, I'll hopefully put on tomorrow a workout that I am going to be doing. So I will see you in a bit. So tonight I'm doing the former, which we've done 75 already, and then how screen, and it's basically like Peloton, where I'm probably going to do this one. Probably intermediate, but you have an account, and this is the bed. As you walk into this, you can move a little bit quicker if you want. You can stay the same. I'll just do a few clips of me trying to do it. So hello, it is Friday. We are looking at coming up to 5 o'clock. I don't think I recorded it properly yesterday, but yesterday's workout was a bit of leg strength in the morning, well, before work. So I mainly focused on hamstrings because that's my weak part when it comes to leg training. And then in the evening, we got invited to a reformer Pilates where it was virtually led instead of it being an in-person instructor. So I ended up doing 20 25 minutes on that because there was a few other people that had been invited too. So that was down in 75 Orton Street in Ormskirk in Liverpool. So that was nice. That's due to open up next week, but definitely a fun part of training. You don't feel as though you're doing any exercise. Don't get me wrong, you will shake and it does burn, but it's just a novelty, I think, for me. So I didn't mind that. And today I'm going to be doing some zone 2, which should be the last one of the week. It's been a pretty low mileage, well, in terms of spinning this week for me. And I think I watched the podcast before where it was discussing heart rate variability. And I think I'm definitely under training for what I should be doing. So ideally I should be aiming for about 3 hours zone 2 with maybe a VO2 Max session in a week. And that's definitely something I can do. I'm just lazy when it comes to getting up of a morning. And I think it's because I'm in that in-between phase between going from full-time work within the NHS, doing clinics, to actually what I want to do, which is preventative health, doing the blood testing and trying to help people without the use of medication. By all means, if they need to go on it, which there are many instances where we need to, we can then go on it then. But I'll finish off with this zone 2. I've done my stretching beforehand. I'm just trying to get my legs warmed up before I go into the class, because I used to think zone 2 was quite easy because it's classed as like an easy run or easy cycle, and it's not. When you actually train zone 2 to get the most out of it, where your lactate is just below 2, you can just about hold a conversation, then the physical effort is quite hard, and it's something that I've definitely undertrained on in years gone by. Now tomorrow I've got a yoga, well, my girlfriend, she's doing a yoga session in the morning where she's leading the first ever one. So I'll be there at 9:30 doing that. I think it's a 20-minute yoga flow. And then in the evening or afternoon, I'll probably do an upper bodybuilding style training session. I did do a strength session early on in the week where I'd done something different. I focused on weighted dips, pull-ups and seated overhead press. Just change it up a bit so I'm not getting bored of the same types of training. And Sunday, I want to go to a run club, depending on the weather. So that would just be a 5k. And then ideally, I would like to do some form of leg exercises. And then going into the next week, like I said, I want to increase aerobic volume, mileage, and really start trying to train optimally. I think I need to start using recordable data and metrics. Yeah, that's where I'm at the moment, and I've probably gone on for too long. So I'll get onto this. I'll pop up the workout summary on there anyway, so you can see exactly what I've done. And then I will speak to you hopefully tomorrow. Hello, so it's Saturday afternoon. I didn't end up doing any yoga this morning. I ended up just filming it. So what I'm going to focus on today is an upper body, more of a bodybuilding style. So I'm aiming for 8 to 12 reps. And I'm focusing mainly on cable exercises. The reason being, something I haven't done for a while, but also something I enjoy doing. I like the constant tension. It allows me to focus more on the negative. And like I said, I like to try and change things up, make it interesting for me so it doesn't become monotonous and boring. I'm going to record the exercises. I'm not going to do any overlay of speech. And then I'll probably check in after the workout, because this is going to be the last thing I record on this vlog before I start the next one. But in terms of what I'm going to do, I haven't really got a plan yet. So after I do a little bit of a warm up, I'm going to do some cable rows seated. I'll probably do some chest press, which is a lot harder, or shoulder press, especially on the cable machine, especially individual. You've got to try and balance it. So that's going to be difficult. I might do some lat pull downs, and then I'm going to finish with arms because I haven't done them for a while. And it's always something that's easy, especially on a Saturday afternoon. So yeah, I'm going to record and insert all the clips now. So that's the end of the workout, and after filming a week of training, it's clear that there's a lot of things that I need to optimise. I mean, I ended up doing the bulk, so I've done strength, a bit of muscle building, VO2 Max aerobic training, but definitely I need to make my time in the gym more efficient. And it was only until I've actually filmed it that I've realised how inefficient my time is in the gym. And for example, aerobic training, could I do longer blocks for a lower frequency, so twice a week, and do an hour and a half at a time? And do I need to change my training from afternoon, evening towards morning, so that I can sort of predict what's going to happen in the day? Because I found, especially in the last week, when I've left it towards the evening, it's quite hard to fit in, but it's something I don't want to miss. So I'm probably going to do this again next week and then see if it improves. And then if there's anything that anyone finds useful, let me know. But I'm just going to redo my training and try and make it more targeted and more efficient next week and see how it compares to this one. But thanks for listening and watching, and I'll see you next week.